Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. आज की video will be a little bit long, so please stick by and watch throughout the video. आज मैं करने जा रही हूँ कोई ऐसी चीज़ जो तुम लोगों ने इतनी request की है that I was just like, okay, let's give them what they want. So today I will be showing you guys how many books I own and review them as I go. जिन books को मैंने पढ़ा हुआ है उन books के मैं one word reviews दे दूँगी because I already know this video will be very long क्योंकि I have about like 100 books here, almost 100 books. सबसे पहली book जो मुझे दिख रही है वो है The Silent Patient. This is one of my favorite books. So there is a wife and she kills her husband and then never speaks again. Then comes a therapist and he helps her speak. But there is a twist that you cannot imagine. So if you like thrillers, this is literally the perfect book for you. मेरा तो दिमाग फट गया था. I gave it literally 6 stars. My दिमाग was over the moon that what the hell just happened. A Little Life by Hania Yanagihara. It's a sad book, let's just say that. पता है क्या, ये sad book भी नहीं है. It's just trauma filled, triggering book and it's a huge book as well. मैंने बीच में ही छोड़ दी थी. I got to like 400 pages and then I stopped because I got so sad that मेरी जिंदगी में वो effect आ रहा था कि मैं जिंदगी में sad हो रही थी. तो if you enjoy like triggering books and sad books, you can read this. The No Show by Beth O'Leary. This is a very fun book. इसमें बहुत different timelines हैं. Basically there are 3 girls who get stood up on Valentine's Day by one guy. So The Kiss Quotient. I haven't read it yet, but I want to. मेरा TBR तुम लोग पता चलेगा कितना लंबा है. I've heard so many great things about this on Instagram and I think this is a series by Helen Wang. और ये बड़ी छोटी सी cute सी romance है I think. So I want to read it but I just haven't gotten the time to. Then we have Punk 57. ये मुझे इतनी गंदी book लगी थी. I was just like, what am I reading? There was too much smut in this. So Punk 57 को I gave 2 stars because there was literally just no story. To basically explain the story, the 2 characters are pen pals and they have never met before until they do. Then I have The Architect's Apprentice by Elif Shafak. Elif Shafak is also the author who wrote 40 Rules of Love. मैंने वो पढ़ी हुई है but I do not own a copy because सारी pirated books अपने bookshelf से निकाल दी थी because I just want to collect original books. I've only read 2 books of Elif Shafak. I haven't read this one but I want to. Then I have one more book by Elif Shafak which is 3 Daughters of Eve. मैंने ये भी नहीं पढ़ी हुई है. I really want to get to it because I know I like Elif Shafak की writing and लोग की थोड़ी लंबी होती है but I enjoy her writing. I have Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is the most mysteryest book I've ever read. Haunting book as well. मुझे नहीं पता, मैं रात में पढ़ी थी और मैं इतना डरी थी इस book से, इतना डरी थी because the things that have been written in this book are creepy. This is also a 5-star book by the way. It's really good. If you enjoy mystery, if you enjoy thrilling aspects of stories, I think you will enjoy this book. Then we have Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. Let's not say कि I hated this book. I just did not enjoy. बहुत young adult है, मतलब it's just too I did not enjoy it that much. And also apparently people say that Zoe Sugg did not write this book. There was a ghostwriter. तो उधर ही she lost me. जबकि I'm a huge Zoe Sugg fan by the way. Let's just put it out there. Then one of my favorite authors, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. ये book बहुत different है from any book you've ever read. This book has interviews. Like literally there are dialogues in form of an interview which is so cool. Like मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि anyone can write a book like that and it will be enjoyable to read, but it was definitely enjoyable to read. It is about a band that was created in the 60s and then they broke off. 80s था 60s था. I am really bad with dates and names. बहुत emotions हैं इसमें. You will feel for the characters a lot. I love this book. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. मैं इतना रोई हूँ ना इस book में, इतना रोई हूँ, मतलब start हुई है book मैं रोई हूँ, middle में मैं रोई हूँ, end में मैं रोई हूँ, end के बाद मैं रोई हूँ because it's just so good. I don't know what Taylor Jenkins Reid does with her writing but too good. This is also a 6-star read for me by the way. जो मैंने emotions इस book में feel किए थे ना, वो मैंने कभी किसी भी book में feel नहीं किए हैं. So that is why I gave an extra star to this book. Next we have the Twisted series by Anna Wang. This is Twisted Games. I did not enjoy this as much as I enjoyed Twisted Hate and Twisted Love. Twisted Hate, also in the Twisted series, I enjoyed this thoroughly because ये enemies to lover है and I really like that trope. Then we have Twisted Lies. This book is also very fun. This ये kind of mafia romance है which if you are into it, you will enjoy a lot. And this also deals with a lot of real life emotions. Twisted Love by Anna Wang. I love this book, even though it has a lot of smut, but it's good. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I read this book in between my exams. मैं उस zone में ही नहीं थी कि मैं book को सही से पढ़ रही थी. I was just reading my course books. But it's about friends to lovers, and like actually childhood friends to lovers. Then we have Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow by Siobhan Kerham. I don't know how to pronounce this name. मैंने ये अभी तक नहीं पढ़ी है. I've never really heard about it. I was at Liberty Books और मुझे बस ये दिखी तो मैंने उठा ली because it just looked interesting to me. For some weird reason, it looked interesting. Then we have The Song of Achilles. I started reading it and I then DNF'd it. I did not understand the names. Proctolus hota kya? I forgot, honestly. I am not into Greek mythology, so it was so hard to relate to these characters because इनके नाम भी इतने मुश्किल थे, मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था, तो I just decided to DNF. Although I want to start reading this because everyone cries while reading it and I want to cry too. The Anthropocene Review. Please आप इसको खुद पढ़ लें टाइटल को, मुझे इसको प्रोनाउंस नहीं करना आ रहा. These are just short essays about random things, like about sunsets, about Monopoly, just बहुत random चीज़ें इस book में, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars. No one really talks about random stuff, and he did, and I appreciate that. John Green, Looking for Alaska. I did not really enjoy it because again it was too YA for me, just like the Zoe Sugg wali book. बहुत extremely young adult थी. Like if I was 15 and reading this, I would have loved it. Like मैं पागल हो रही होती. And I would like to admit that I did cry. That's true, I did cry. The Maidens by Alex Michaelide. This is by the author of The Silent Patient, and I just read this and finished it because this was by the author of The Silent Patient. वरना इसमें भी Greek mythology है. Even though it has like a murder mystery and it's very thrilling as well, I did not like the aspect जहाँ पे Greek mythology थी because again I'm dumb, I don't understand Greek mythology. But eventually I think I gave this like 3.5 stars या 4 stars. At the end मेरा दिमाग थोड़ा फटा तो था. 1984 by George Orwell. I think every human should read this because this book was written in the 1940s and it literally describes our future. The things that are written in this book are actually happening in North Korea. People should study this book. Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. Because I enjoy thrillers and mysteries, someone recommended me कि Agatha Christie ना सबकी बाप है, इसकी books पढ़ो. So I picked up one book from the Hercules Poirot series. Poirot, yes. I did enjoy it, but it was like बहुत old English थी. So it was a little hard to understand, but it's fine. I did enjoy the story either way. Haruki Murakami, Norwegian Wood. I saw Mostly Sane review this and I was like, I need to get it. ये book थोड़ी literary fiction की तरफ है and I did enjoy this. I'm not going to lie, but I personally don't enjoy Murakami की writing because I've read Kafka on the Shore and that was a horrendous book. Then we have another mystery, Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. I feel like the closest book that I've ever gotten to like a mystery itni crazy or ending itni crazy was Rock Paper Scissors after The Silent Patient. So the mystery in this is insane because there is a couple और जो husband होता है उसको face blindness होती है, जो भी आगे खड़ा होता है उसकी शक्ल सही से नहीं दिखती. That's one of the greatest part about that mystery. Meera Sethi, Are You Enjoying? I did enjoy this book, although it promotes a lot of things that shouldn't be promoted. Putting that aside, I did enjoy the short stories because it felt relatable with Pakistan and it felt like, okay, these things do happen around me. Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is also literary fiction. और बहुत सारे लोग wouldn't really enjoy this because it does not have an end. There is no like happy ending. Closure नहीं है इस book में. You might be annoyed by that, but if you are like in your 20s and figuring out love, I think you should read this. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I enjoy mystery and thrillers, you guys know. The ending was predictable for me, but if you are a teenager and you would like to get into the genre of thrillers, this is the perfect book to start with. And मैंने सुना है इसके ऊपर series भी बन रही है. I have this very boring book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I should read it, but I don't read non-fiction. Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. ये एक classic है and let's just say I started it and then I did not enjoy it because इसमें भी English इतनी पुरानी थी that मेरा दिमाग हो रहा था ये क्या बोल रहा है. So I just stopped reading it. The Inheritance Games, I just finished it like a couple of days ago. I enjoyed it so much. This is one of my favorite clues and mystery wali book. Also this is YA, so a lot of you can read it. The Final Gambit, I have yet to read this. I am currently reading The Hawthorne Legacy जो उधर ادھر پڑی ہوئی ہے اور آئی جسٹ ریئلائز مجھے دکھانی پڑے گی اور مجھے اٹھ کے ادھر جانا پڑے گا. بٹ خیر, دا ہاٹون لیگیسی کے بعد آتی ہے دا فائنل گیمبٹ. آئی ہیونٹ ریڈ اٹ یٹ. بیچ ریڈ بائی ایملی ہینری. دس واز اے ریئلی کیوٹ رومانس ناول. آئی لو ایملی ہینری. He writes January and Gus. They have my heart. Let's just say that. One of Us is Next is a sequel of One of Us is Lying. I read One of Us is Lying in I think last year, and wo pirated copy thi, so I do not own it, but it was a really good read and I'm excited to read this next. Frederick Backman, Anxious People. This is also a Netflix show if you would like to watch it and not read this book. It's about a robbery. Jo bhi cheezein hoti hain, the banter is so funny. There are real life advices in this. It is like a 5 out of 5 read. If you want comedy and if you want like actual advices in a book, this is the perfect book for you. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. मैंने अभी तक ये नहीं पढ़ी है, but I do own it. Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I think this was a gift. I still haven't gotten around to read it, but I will. Bad Apple by Zoe Stage. I think her name is Zoe. लेकिन Zoe लिखा हुआ है. I started reading this book and then I stopped in between because it was just creepy. इस book में जो बच्ची है, it gives me like really creepy vibes, so I just stopped. The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is a sequel of The Cruel Prince. Because I was not sure about The Cruel Prince after reading it, I'd never pick this one up. I'm not really sure about the fantasy genre yet, lekin I will get into it. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I love this book. मुझे लगता है मुझे इसके बारे में बात करने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is a sequel of It Ends With Us. I did not enjoy it as much as It Ends With Us. Emily Henry, People We Meet on Vacation. I haven't read this one yet, but I want to. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. ये इतनी cute book है. The girl basically wakes up on Valentine's Day. She is basically doing over her Valentine's Day until she gets it right. Also मेरी battery flash करी है, which means that हमें शायद phone पे shift होना पड़े. You're That by Bretman Rock. This is just his memoir एक तरीके से, which I actually enjoyed. काफ़ी funny है. He writes in a way that he speaks. Like जिस तरीके से वो बोलता है वैसे ही लिख रहा है. Secrets of Divine Love by A. Helwa. This book is just about why God loves you, and it's nice to read that. Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I haven't read this one yet, but this is also a thriller. Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. Haven't read it. Also a thriller. Things We Never Got Over. ये एक romance novel है, and I heard so many good things about it on TikTok, so I got it, but I never read it. This is Mercy by Judy Picoult, and I haven't read this one yet, but I have read My Sister's Keeper or The Sister's Keeper, and I cried so much in that book. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the last two books that I read of her. I don't know, it was थोड़ी लंबी लग रही थी मुझे. I was just like थोड़ा कट सकता है इसमें, इतना भी लंबी करना सही नहीं है. The Dreamland Billionaire series, The Fine Print, Terms and Condition and Final Offer. I enjoyed this series so much. इसके अंदर is everything. There is family, found family, mystery, clues. I love this series to death. Murakami, Kafka on the Shore. Hate this book, did not enjoy it. And it's a fat book. Ew. It has like incest and stuff. Elif Shafak, 10 minutes and 38 seconds in the Strange World. This book is about a prostitute and she is being killed. And it is said that when you are dying, your brain is active for 10 minutes and 38 seconds, and that's where your life flashes in front of your eyes. I actually really enjoyed this book, but there is a trigger warning, so please make sure. Better Than the Movies. ये दुनिया की सबसे cute book है. It is YA. I love this book. It is enemies to lovers. Okay, my camera died, so we are on my phone. But I was talking about Better Than the Movie. बस मुझे ये book बहुत पसंद है. Like, I don't know, this book has like a separate place in my heart. This is the first book I have ever read in my life. The Places I've Cried in Public by Holly Bourne. And this book does have trigger warnings, so please look into the triggers before you read this. But I cried so much in this book. I read this like 4 years ago now, but there are two books जिन्होंने मुझे रीडिंग के अंदर इन्वेस्ट करने को बोला है. One of those books is this, and the second book is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Sad books just made me love books. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Double Down. This is just a children's book that I wanted to read because मैंने बचपन में कभी भी Diary of a Wimpy Kid नहीं पढ़ी थी. Next I have The Perfect Wife. I started reading it, but then I stopped. because پتہ نہیں کیا robots تھے, India چل رہا تھا. I was like, یہ کیا, there's just too much happening at the same time. I am fine with not reading this. So I DNF'd it. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This was my first fantasy book and everyone says کہ اگر fantasy پڑھنی ہے تو go into it with The Cruel Prince. I didn't get it. There is too much politics now that I think about it. شروع میں جب میں نے پڑھی تھی I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this, oh, it's so fun, but now I don't even remember what was happening. I just remember that there was one character, Jude and Cardan, and fairies ہوتی تھی. I've forgotten this story, bro. I read it like 2 years ago, but I've forgotten the story. If he had been with me. I saw this book on TikTok اور میں نے دیکھا تھا لوگ بہت روتے ہیں اس کو پڑھ کے. And do you know what? I finished this book in like 4 hours only and I cried and cried and cried. شروع میں مجھے کوئی رونا نہیں آیا, بیچ میں مجھے کوئی رونا نہیں آیا, اینڈ پہ I died. I was crying so hard and so loud that everyone in my house was probably like, اس کو کیا ہوا ہے. If you want to cry, read If He Had Been With Me. Peter Kamil by Umair Ahmed. This is an English version that I got gifted. I think مجھے اس book کے بارے میں کچھ بولنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے. Everyone has read it and everyone knows how badly you cry at the end. Camilla Knows Best by Farha Heron. I got this recently as a gift, تو میں نے ابھی تک پڑھی نہیں ہے. But this cover it feels so nice, like matte سی feeling ہے, and nothing makes me more happy when the color is vibrant on the cover. Happy Place by Emily Henry. Guys, this book broke me in between. Like میں بیچ میں پڑھتے پڑھتے رو رہی تھی, کیا ہو رہا ہے, I want them to be together. But eventually it is a happy ending. If you like to read romances, I think Emily Henry is one of the best at it. This was her newest release and I got it the second it came to Pakistan, and I'm glad that I did because I gave it 5 out of 5. The Godfather by Mario Puzo کیسا نام ہے. I haven't read this one yet. میں نے The Godfather والی مووی بھی نہیں دیکھی, تو I want to read this now. The text is so small. I don't know, something about books with small text annoy me. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I DNF'd this book and I think I vlogged about it as well. بہت زیادہ ٹائم لائنس تھیں اس بک میں. I was just so confused کہ کیا ہو رہا ہے, and too many characters as well. Akotar. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I know this is a very famous TikTok fantasy book and people love it. I just haven't gotten the time to get around it yet, but I will. I know I will. It's just the fact that I did not enjoy The Cruel Prince kyunki wo bhi fantasy hai and it's kind of like politics वगैरह, that I'm just not motivated to pick this up. But I'm sure because people love this book even more than The Cruel Prince. Not just this book, the whole series. So I do want to read this. American Psycho. I did not enjoy this book. Patrick Bateman is a guy that is just not nice. یہ بہت annoying book تھی, پتہ نہیں مجھے بہت الجھن ہوئی اس کو پڑھتے ہوئے. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is also a famous TikTok book. I haven't read this yet. Girl Online Going Solo. This is actually signed by Zoe Sugg, which is crazy. اور مجھے یہ بہت funny چیز ہے. I actually got this from Sunday Bazaar. This signed copy. Zoe Sugg literally signed it. And I got it from Sunday Bazaar for like 400 rupees. This whole hardcover for 400 or 500 rupees, signed by Zoe Sugg. Even though I did not enjoy the story, I have her signature. Then again, Girl Online On Tour. I just got the whole series of hardbacks jo udhar padi thi because I was like, shayad isme bhi signature nikal jaye. My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I think my cousin gave me this when I was starting reading and she was like, you need to get into reading and this is a nice way to get into reading because ye bahut easy read hai. Knowing myself, I did not read this. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Ye bhi ek bahut TikTok famous book hai. I just haven't gotten the time around to read this, but اس کا cover اتنا cool ہے that I actually just bought it for the cover, not the story. I just have 2 books left. I have a lot more books in my mom's room and my brother's room, but I'm so lazy to get them کہ مجھ سے نہیں ہو رہا. بس میرے کمرے میں بھی جو فی الحال بکس ہیں نا وہ یہ بکس ہیں, ہم انہی کو ڈسکس کریں. This is still not my whole collection. 1000 Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. یہ اتنی سیڈ بک ہے that I was like, بس I'm just going to say that I cried my eyes out when I read the letter. میں پاگلوں کی طرح رو رہی تھی کہ like مریم deserved so much better. میں اور بات نہیں کر سکتی اس بک کے بارے میں, یہ بک literally میرا ٹراما ہے. And this is the current book that I'm reading in the Inheritance Games series, The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm actually enjoying it. I am making a reading log on this, so stay tuned for that. That was my book collection. I know this was a very long video. If you watched till the end, right, A Thousand Splendid Suns is the most saddest book of all time. सो आई नो कि तुम लोगों ने एंड तक वीडियो देखी है, और जिसने एंड तक वीडियो नहीं देखी है मैं कुछ उसको बोल भी नहीं सकती क्योंकि वो एंड तक देख भी नहीं रहा. बट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग गाइज. आई होप यू एंजॉयड दिस वीडियो एंड आई विल सी यू गाइज इन माई नेक्स्ट वन. बाय बाय.